Welcome to the August 2019 residential real estate market update for Las Vegas. I am Jason Miller with the Chong Miller Group, and in this video I want to give you a brief update on the housing market in Las Vegas for July of 2019. So that's last month. We always look back 1 month. Now this update has been delayed a little bit. The reason is that I developed some software to increase efficiency in the management of our practice. As well, I was at a conference for some of the top real estate agents in the country. I'm back now. I'm concentrating on doing this video, so let me hop right into the information, relevant information for you. So in July, as I had suspected, we had a really pretty strong month. We increased the home sales, single-family residential home sales in the Valley from 3,772 the prior month, so that'd be June of 2019. We increased to 4,070. Now, to give you a little perspective on that number, that is a little down. It's down by about 79 units from July of last year, but it's still a really strong number. So any number that's, say, 3,900 or over in the market that we've had since 2009 is actually a really fantastic number. Now, I don't mean that that we should compare those numbers to prior to 2009. We had a lot of froth in the real estate market in Las Vegas in that 2004 to 2009 time period, both on the upside and on the downside. But in the regrowth in the market, this number is actually a really strong number. So let me give you a little bit more information here. In July 2019, the average home sale price for a resale single-family home was, yes, you guessed it, $300,000. So completely flat from the prior month. It's up a little bit from the past year. Las Vegas is actually up more over the past year than most of the other, or in fact all of the other 20 markets that are tracked in the Case-Shiller Index. But we have become very stable. Price increases around the country are highly mitigated. Some markets like Seattle, San Francisco, New York City, you see prices falling. We don't see prices falling in Las Vegas. Prices here are flat. They are stable. They've been stable for a year. Now, that's in the resale market for single-family homes. There are, of course, other markets. There are single-family new construction homes. I'll just give you the information on that because it's kind of interesting. That number decreased last month. The average or the median price was $350,000. In June, that number was $369,000. And if we look back 1 year, the median sales price on a new construction single-family home was $418,730. So new construction home prices, median, have fallen. Now, why is that? It's partly because of the mix of what's being sold. There have been developers that have come in and started building on lesser expensive ground and have been building some smaller properties. And so the mix of those houses available for sale as new construction have been falling. That's not a harbinger of anything bad. In the new home sale construction numbers, actually, we see a great deal of variability. They go up, they go down pretty significantly every single month. So it's just an interesting number I thought that I would share with you. So let's then summarize what's going on in the market and how that impacts you and what you should do with that information. The market is extremely stable. In fact, it's kind of funny. The Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors president has started using exactly that language that I've been using for a while, that the market is very stable. It's the most stable that we've seen in Las Vegas in a long time. And so that suggests prices are not going up, and the data say prices are not going up. That suggests prices are not going down, and the data say prices are not going down. Now, as I had noticed last month, if you look at individual houses that happen to be for sale, we see a lot of price cuts in the multiple listing service data. Why is that? It's because people are pricing too high. They're pricing without regard to what the market's actually doing. And so they have to either leave the market, or they have to cut their prices, or they have to just sit there continuing to attract numbers of days on market that doesn't result in a sale. So if you're a seller, you want to be smart about this. You want to hire a real estate agent who's not going to talk you down and tell you, you need to cut your price and cut your price and cut your price, but rather who's going to talk to you realistically about what the market is, how the market's responding to pricing and inventory information, how you can position your home to sell. Because if you're a seller, you want to sell. If you're a buyer, know this: inventory is great. Sales are taking place. There are sellers out there who want to sell property to you, and many of them have priced appropriately. You're not going to get some deal like it's 2008, 2009, 2010. Those deals don't exist in the Valley any longer, right? But you can get into a property at a really good price. And I do want to say one more thing, and I'll do a whole video on this at another time. Some people have started to express concern about whether or not there is an impending recession. I've addressed this very briefly in earlier videos. Let me just say, recessions come, recessions go. The US economy is cyclical. There's a business cycle that sometimes the economy is expanding and sometimes the economy is contracting. What impact does that have on housing? It's a perfectly fair question. The most recent recession history that we've got in Las Vegas, and in fact in the country, was devastating to housing prices, but it was a very unusual recession. In fact, the housing price response to the last recession was singular in all of American history. It was not even similar to what happened during the Great Depression in the 1930s. Housing prices did not respond that way. And it's for a variety of reasons, including the last recession was led by, and in fact caused by, issues taking place in housing and housing finance and banking more generally. And so what we'll see in this next recession, extremely unlikely to be anything like that. The human brain works on a series, or utilizing a series of shortcuts called heuristics. These are evolutionarily beneficial. They help us to immediately respond to danger, to pursue things that are more beneficial while being really careful about harm that's out there. So one of the primary heuristics that impacts us is called the recency heuristic, sometimes the availability heuristic. Something that's more recent, something around which we have more recent knowledge or experience, weighs more heavily in our mind than something that happened a longer period of time ago. Even if what happened more recently is aberrant, is completely out of the norm. And so we react to the idea of a recession as, oh my gosh, the housing market may collapse. The housing market's not going to collapse. You've heard that here first. Now, you've heard it undoubtedly some other places as well, but you've heard also people with very strong opinions about bad things that are going to be impending into the housing market. The housing market's not going to collapse. The banking industry is not going to collapse. What we saw in the prior recessions, over the 5 recessions that happened prior to 2006 to 9 timeframe, in 2 of those recessions, housing prices increased. In the other 2 of those recessions, one of them, housing prices dropped by about 1.2%. The other is slightly larger. Housing prices outside some specific geographies do not have an extremely high positive correlation with the business cycle. Now, if we were in New York City, that'd be a little bit different. We're not in New York City, where people are reliant on bonuses for buying super high priced condos. Rather, here, we exist in an environment where, when there's a recession, housing prices might go up a little bit, they might go down a little bit, but they're not going to crash. So waiting out of the housing market now, or rushing in to sell to try to get the better price today than you can get tomorrow, these are not actually super well thought out strategies. You will be able to get a house today for about the same price that you could get the house yesterday, and about the same price that you'll be able to get the house tomorrow. At some point, housing prices will start to escalate again in Las Vegas because there's a lack of demand, certainly at the lower end. There are more people moving to Las Vegas, and so we're developing housing supply here. Housing prices will go up. Don't know exactly when it'll be. Right now, housing prices are very stable. Housing prices are not likely to be going down. So, at the Chong Miller Group, we would love to help you in your home adventures, whether that's buying or selling. Please watch our videos on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel if you find these to be helpful. Please as well check out our website, chongmillergroup.com, and contact us with any questions you have. We'd love to be on your short list for interviews for either listing your property or looking for a new property for you to move into. Info at Chong Miller Group. I'm Justin Miller, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you.